Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Reserved Investments. And we have an excellent record-breaking sale to talk about today that took place in the world of sports cards. So for those unaware, within the last 24 to 48 hours, a Michael Jordan rookie card from a secret autograph signing just sold for a record $2.5 million. This is the most expensive 1986 Flair card in existence at present time. Let me state that again. This card was produced in 1986. This card is younger than me. I was born in 1976, to put this in perspective. Now, obviously, everybody knows who Michael Jordan is. Michael Jordan is probably one of the greatest basketball players of all time. So I am going to read through this excellent article that appeared on the site known as collect.com. That's CLLCT.com. I will put a link to this article in the video description below because, as always in the antiques and collectibles trade, there's a little bit more to this story, and the devil is in the details. And that's why this channel is devoted to collectible finance, how to allocate capital and resources to the antiques and collectibles trade, whether over the short term or through the long term, because there's an intelligent way to do that. And then there is, of course, the Timmy way, which those of you that follow some of the other channels out there that talk about hype in Pokemon or great at video games or whatever the most popular collectible is at present time, those channels are for the Timmys, Kimmys, and Poindexters. What we do here is we talk about the intelligence of allocating capital to the antiques and collectibles trade and what to expect on a risk versus reward basis. So let's dive right into this article. I'm going to break it down for you because, again, there are some details here that are very important to an astute reader of this article and somebody who really studies the antiques and collectibles trade. So here we go, courtesy of collect.com, and this article was published on June 26, 2025, and it was written by Will Stern. What started as an autograph signing, shrouded in mystery, ended Thursday with a record-breaking $2.5 million result. In the first sports forward sale from Joopiter, the Pharrell Williams-backed auction house sold a signed 1986 Michael Jordan Flair rookie card, graded by PSA in 9 condition, with an autograph confirmed by DNA in 10 condition, the highest price ever paid for the 86 card. Now, this is where it gets interesting because we got to peel back the details here. First of all, if you don't know who the auction company Joopiter is, you would be forgiven. It is owned and operated by Pharrell Williams. If you don't know who Pharrell Williams is, you would also be forgiven. Pharrell Williams is a well-known American singer and songwriter. Those of you, if you're a Daft Punk fan, if you guys remember the song Get Lucky, he was featured as being a singer in that particular track. So if you go watch that video, that is Pharrell Williams, who is singing Get Lucky by Daft Punk. Also in that particular music video was Nile Rodgers, just as a side note, if you guys are a fan of Nile Rodgers. Well, Pharrell Williams started this auction company called Joopiter. Remember, guys, when I told you early on when I started this channel, the one thing that you guys got to recall, if we look at the antiques and collectibles trade, the ultra wealthy, the multi-hundred millionaire class, the billionaire class, they invest in the antiques and collectibles trade differently than you and I and even other wealthy individuals out there. They usually buy grading companies, they usually use private equity, or they buy auction companies outright. This is a primary example of a person that has an interest in antiques and collectibles, because if you look up Pharrell Williams, he does. He's into a lot of things nerd culture. Well, he formed his own auction company. So that's where this card was sold. It was sold again through the auction company Joopiter, Joopiter. Now that I said that, let's get back to the article because there's more details here that we have to explore. In the first sports forward sale from Joopiter. Okay, I already read that. The auction started with a minimum bid of $2 million and had a high estimate of $3 million. The buyer's premium brought the final price to $2.5 million. A spokesperson from Joopiter confirmed the sale only received a single bid. So let's put that in perspective. This item came up for bid with a $2 million auction asking starting price. It only received one bid. With the buyer's premium, it then sold for $2.5 million. Now, this is very important because this is something that a lot of other people out there that are commenting on this sale are leaving out of the equation, and it means everything. This auction started at a price of $2 million. So the fact that it only sold with one bid with the buyer's premium for $2.5 million means that the buyer who bought this piece really wanted this item. Let's keep that in perspective when we claim this is, which it is, a record-breaking sale in sports cards history. Now, going further here. Originally, Michael Jordan signed 9 copies of the 1986 Flair rookie card in a secret session in Florida last year. The card at Joopiter, which was initially listed for sale at Sotheby's before it was removed at the request of the consignor, is one of less than 100 such copies graded by PSA/DNA, and one of 6 featuring a certified 10 autograph grade. Now, this is very important because, again, we get another piece of the full story here. The card at Joopiter, which was initially listed for sale at Sotheby's before it was removed at the request of the consignor. We do not know the specifics as to why it was removed from the sale at Sotheby's. And this is another important piece of this puzzle. The reason why I'm telling you all this and making sure I go over all of these minute details that a lot of people gloss over is this is key to understanding what goes into transactions like this and whether or not the overall news media is lying. I don't really want to say lying, kind of misleading about the hype in a lot of these markets. The fact, again, that there was only one bid and the starting bid was $2 million does not, in my mind, scream that this sale was a success, even though it was a record-breaking sale. So that's why we're having this conversation, guys. It's just to keep the perspective open so that you guys can see how, I want to say market manipulation, but that's too strong of a word here, how some of these news headlines are very misleading. That's why I want to give a shout out. The reason why I chose this article, I want to give a shout out to collect.com and mainly Will Stern, the author of this piece, who actually did make sure to include all of these important details because this does matter. Now, the sale not only makes it the most expensive 1986 Flair card ever sold, but also just the 4th Michael Jordan card to ever eclipse $2 million and the 3rd most expensive overall. Well, here again, the auction opened at $2 million. It got one bid, and when we tack on the buyer's premium, that's why it sold for $2.5 million. A statement from the auction house boasted participation from 50 countries in the auction, though it is unclear how that participation is measured. It's the first of the cards from the so-called secret signing to sell at public auction. Now again, 50 countries participated in this auction, meaning bidders from 50 countries participated in the auction, but this particular piece only got one bid, and the starting bid was at $2 million. So, in my opinion, does this sale really matter in the grand scheme of things? The answer is no. I'm going to allow you guys to form your own conclusions here, because obviously, we're talking about an item that's in the top 1% of the trade. When we look at sports memorabilia, when we look at trading cards specifically, this item's in the top 1% of the market. So does it matter going forward that this specific piece sold for $2.5 million? Well, if we're solely looking at dollar signs, it does. But those of you that know the details, the fact that there was only one bid entered for this item, and the starting bid was at $2 million, that makes all the difference in the world. And if you want to be intelligent about analyzing how the antiques and collectibles marketplace works, that makes all the difference in the world if you are going to allocate capital to an item like this or a market like this, especially when we're dealing with items that cost 7 figures or more per item. I mean, at that level, you're pretty much competing with the top tier level of rare coins, and also you're in the market for rare fine art at that level too. So you kind of have to really weigh what market you really want to invest in, whether it be over the short term or over the long term. So let's keep all this in perspective as the news media reports on this sale, and I guarantee you some of those outlets are going to leave out these important details. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know if you want me to do more videos like this. Again, the article that I did read in this particular piece will be linked in the video description below. I do want to give a shout out and make sure that CLLCT.com does get credit for that, along with the author, Will Stern, who did an excellent job on this piece. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. And as always, please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you are subscribed, I just may see you in another upcoming video.